Hello and welcome to Rough Cut. It is, again, like many of my videos, it's very late, but I thought I'd just do a review of The Dark Knight Rises because it's obviously a massive film and I really, really liked it. So, obviously this film has been talked about an awful lot, so I'll just do a pretty quick review. I'm not going to really say anything that hasn't been said elsewhere. This film is another example of Christopher Nolan's intelligence, his imagination, and really just his craft. And it's just up there on the screen for us all to see. It's made an absolute fortune. Obviously, it cost a lot to make, but it's made an absolute fortune. And it's wonderful to see Nolan breaking this myth that only people like Michael Bay can make profitable blockbusters. And, as he showed with Inception, if you make an intelligent film, people are prepared to go along with it, even if they're seeing a massive special effects film. That you don't have to go to the lowest common denominator. So it's obviously this is the third part of the trilogy. Now we're in the final stage. The film kicks off with an exceptional set piece involving two planes and just shows how Christopher Nolan uses sort of old-fashioned sensibilities. I can imagine Michael Bay just doing all that with CGI, and boy, can you tell the difference between actual effects and special CGI effects. So plot-wise, where are we? So Gotham has, superficially at least, it's been fairly rosy for the last few years. As one of the policemen described it, it's peacetime, not wartime. So anyone that's vaguely dubious due to the Dent Act of the events at the end of the second film has been locked up in a prison. So the streets are clean, but the prison's full. And in the first reel, we really get the sense that Batman has no place, and the character there, he really is suffering, and it really comes across. And Alfred as the butler is the emotional heart of the piece, and we really sympathise. So what's to say about the film? Well, it looks fantastic from the opening. I mean, it's just a really classy film. It was an incredibly hard task to follow on from the Joker of the middle film. But I think Tom Hardy does a wonderful job, and this one feels a lot more to me like an ensemble cast, which really helps it, and they're really exceptional actors. So I know some people have said there's an issue with Tom Hardy with not understanding him. I didn't have a problem with that, actually. So the film in general, I mean, the plot I think is absolutely fantastic. The set pieces are outstanding. Nolan takes his time with it as well. He doesn't rush into anything. So when we think that Batman, will he come back, won't he? And we really feel that is a seriously painful decision and a real dilemma. You don't get a sense of the inevitability of it. And it's just, and Christopher Nolan has just clearly earned enough respect to just warrant, so people let him have his head and take his time with the story, and it's absolutely fantastic. So he goes at his own pace. I'm trying desperately hard not to give anything away, but the new characters brought in are very strong, and they're brilliantly played. The film it leaves room for a Batman film of the future, but I think it ties everything up wonderfully. I think it's a very satisfying ending to an outstanding trilogy. I was never particularly interested in Batman as a character before these three films. I mean, I read the Killing Joke, and I thought it was pretty good, but it never really held much appeal to me. But Nolan has taken this character and really created a wonderful world. And the final battle scenes of this, and are just absolutely fantastic. It's all done with extras. And it's just wonderful. There's scenes with Wall Street and the sort of the bankers are the criminals and all this sort of thing, and it comes across with those sorts of. It's such an intelligent film. It really is. There's so much behind the surface that you can pick out if you want to, but if you don't want to, it's just a thoroughly enjoyable blockbuster. So for me, it's got to be one of the best trilogies ever made. This and Toy Story, I suspect. And I'd probably throw in the Lord of the Rings trilogy in there as well. So there we are. I've not gone into anywhere near as much detail as I'd like, but I think other people have done it. I'm late doing it. I'd just be repeating what they've said. So Dark Knight Rises, fantastic film.